gonna stop. To the top, to the top. Ain't never gonna stop. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Every day I fight to be legendary. Fly high, or will I fall? Legends made when faith is strong. No time to bleed. I'm conquering. Push through the pain, I'm in for the prize. Some people wanna turn and run, but the strong rise under the gun. Top to the top, ain't never gonna stop. To the top, to the top, ain't never gonna stop. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Every day I fight to be legendary. Every day I fight to be Wings are made to fly, made to fly. Fears are born to die, born to die. Pushing through the pain, through the pain. Pushing through, breaking through, whatever it takes, what I gotta do. Giving my all, giving all that I got. Never will stop till I get to the top. Top to the top, ain't never gonna stop. To the top, to the top, ain't never gonna stop. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Every day I fight to be legendary. Never gonna keep me down. Still the one that's standing now. Destiny is calling me. Go down in history. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Oh, money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
If you smell what the rock is cooking. The rock says, the rock says. The rock says, the rock. They talk to me. You got your rules and your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. I have a voice that is my savior, hates to love and loves to hate. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to your fate. I hear voices crying, I see heroes dying, I taste blood that's trying, I feel tension rising. I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me, they talk to me.
Hello and welcome to the WWE Wrestling Talk Show with Lisa Rock Jones and
Sean Randy Smith, and it's that time of year again in the WWE.
yes, where the WWE superstars, 6 men and 6 women, will this year attempt to climb the corporate ladder to gain possession of the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yes, because unfortunately, due to a certain pandemic called COVID-19, the WWE will be presenting their Money in the Bank show this year from the WWE Global Headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut.
Yes, and even more groundbreaking than that is a stat that we will get into momentarily.
Yes.
Well, this is the 10th year of the Money in the Bank pay-per-view itself.
Yeah.
The 15th year of the Money in the Bank ladder match. We start this off with the first of our matches. Now, as we briefly mentioned, the Money in the Bank, or at least the Money in the Bank matches, will come at us from WWE Global Headquarters, Titan Towers. It has not been made clear whether the rest of the card will also take place in Titan Towers, or whether they will take place in the Performance Center.
But obviously, as the time of when the Bank pay-per-view draws nearer, we'll let you find folks know. But we'll start off with these matches that were just made today.
And the Money in the Bank pay-per-view comes at us, funnily enough, tomorrow.
It does. But we'll start off with matches that were literally made just minutes ago.
Sheamus has been building some kind of issue with Jeff Hardy upon WWE hyping the return of Jeff Hardy, even though his brother has gone to a company that must not be named.
Yes, we'll not name that company, so no lawsuits incoming.
So you would expect that they would do Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus. Now, on the pre-show, we have Jeff Hardy versus Cesaro, who has his own issues with regards to Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak.
Literally out of nowhere, they've added that match. No pun intended.
And I thought that was your stick.
Yeah, how dare you, WWE? You nicked my own shtick.
Now, coming out of nowhere on Raw, we have R-Truth going the 35 or 36 time, whichever one it is.
36 times 24/7 champion.
Going one-on-one with MVP.
Who we thought was just going to be a backstage personnel backstage.
But seems to be creating a stable.
And again, that match just popped up out of nowhere.
So then now we go on to
matches that actually have some storyline to them.
and a unique feel to this one, because we have the Money in the Bank ladder matches, or should we say ladder match?
Yes.
Because as we mentioned, this year's Money in the Bank ladder matches will take place from WWE's global headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut, Titan Towers. But this year, the men's and women's Money in the Bank ladder matches will also take place at the same time.
So for the women's, we have.
Not at the same time, also with some very unique rules.
Yes.
Because the match will start at the bottom of Titan Towers, where you will be on a course to get to the roof, grab a ladder, get into the ring, climb up the ladder, and retrieve the briefcase. And then once you've got the briefcase, we all know the rules. You have a year to cash her in and potentially become WWE Universal Raw or SmackDown Women's Champion. We don't need to explain that bit to you.
No, we don't. But what we can explain is the participants for each of the matches, starting off with the women.
On the Raw side, with the women, we have the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka.
We also have Shayna Baszler of Monday Night Raw.
The woman who we thought would be the Raw Women's Champion coming out of WrestleMania.
Nia Jax. And on the SmackDown side,
we have a surprising entrant in Dana Brooke.
The sassy Southern Belle, Lacey Evans.
And a former Miss Money in the Bank herself, Carmella.
Who will have the opportunity to become a 3-time Women's Money in the Bank winner.
Two, technically, if you want to talk about the
first time she won it.
I was going to say, if you want to talk about the situation which involved a certain James Ellsworth when she first won the briefcase.
But if you don't count the incident with that superstar who will not be named Ellsworth,
this will be her second attempt at the winning the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, the men's one, we have two former Mr. Money in the Bank in there.
We do.
First, we have the man who won it in 2011 and cast in later that year to become World Heavyweight Champion in Daniel Bryan.
Representing SmackDown, but representing Raw is the High Flyer, Rey Mysterio.
Also representing Raw, we have Aleister Black.
Representing SmackDown is a man who will have a chance to become a two-time Money in the Bank contract winner himself in King Corbin.
Does you mean Burger King? Also representing SmackDown, despite being involved in what is arguably the best storyline at WWE has going at the minute.
Yep.
We have one half of
Heavy
Machinery and Otis. See what I did there? Otis and Mandy.
Oh, I get it. Yeah. But then we were supposed to have Apollo Crews.
Yes, we were supposed to have Apollo Crews in this match, but due to an injury suffered in a match, I say injury very loosely.
In a United States Championship match against Andrade 2 weeks ago.
He was pulled from this match.
So there was a last chance gauntlet match happening on Monday Night Raw just gone.
Now, I believe here we had Bobby Lashley going.
Otis O'Neill.
I was going to say Bobby Lashley going up against Humberto Carrero.
Yes, but during this match as well, we had Titus O'Neill, Akira Tozawa, and Angel Garza, and Austin Theory.
I was going to say, if I remember correctly, Bobby Lashley defeated Titus.
Yes.
Then Humberto Carrero came down. However, Bobby Lashley got himself disqualified.
As a result of not breaking the referee's 5 count.
Then we had member number 1
of what we like to call the Mexican Shield,
which was Austin Theory.
But Austin Theory has been eliminated.
Then we had Angel Garza, who is Humberto Guerrero's real-life cousin.
But as well, Angel Garza has been eliminated.
That would leave the United States champion Andrade to come down. However, Andrade has been eliminated. But then, somehow, dramatically emerging from the depths of hell after being killed at WrestleMania, we had the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Yeah, AJ Styles came back from his so-called death at Corona-Mania/WrestleMania.
And would pick the bones of what was left of Humberto Carrero to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match. Now, what do we reckon is going to happen here?
Well, AJ Styles promised one thing: he would throw somebody off of a roof. And
yes,
what we've been heard, listeners, me and Reese the Rock have been told that apparently Vince is exploring that idea.
Yes, we all believe that someone is going to be someone, if not one from each, is going off the roof.
Yes.
Well, my point is, with the ladder matches, who do we reckon is going to win? On the women's side, I rule out Dana Brooke completely.
Yes.
I would also rule out Carmella because she just doesn't seem to be in the championship picture at the minute.
I would also rule out Lacey Evans as well.
Possibly, I would say yes, but I would keep her as if maybe, because I think the winner is going to come from the Raw end.
But the winner I'm picking for this match will be Shayna Baszler.
I would think Shayna Baszler would be the shoo-in, but then again, Shayna Baszler seemed to be the shoo-in to take the title off of Becky Lynch at WrestleMania. See what happened there.
True. Now what about the men?
On the men's side, it's a bit more of a weird one. So if I was going to rule out two, I would rule out Otis immediately.
Yep, me too.
And even though I think I wouldn't complain if it happened, but I would rule out Rey Mysterio as well.
Yeah, so but I'm going to pick my winner, and I'm going to say it'll either be Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, or Aleister Black.
Well, considering who we just ruled out, that is the only options left.
King Corbin as well.
My issue with Daniel Bryan is whilst he could make it fun, and that he has done it before, he is supposed to be taking some time off because Brie Bella is pregnant.
Yes, she is due a second child anytime soon.
I think it's within the next 2 months or so. So
Likewise to Nikki Bella.
So that may rule him out.
So it's either between Mysterio, Black, or Corbin.
You mean Black, Corbin, or Styles?
Yeah, either that way. But either way, then I'm picking either Black, Bryan. I'm gonna pick Aleister Black.
See, I'm going to go against what some people would want to hear. King Corbin is a douchebag, but he's also a great douchebag, which would make him a good person to hold for a briefcase, provided he doesn't fuck it up like he did last time.
Thanks to John Cena. Anyway, we'll move to our next match, which will be for the Universal Championship.
But then again, before we can move on, AJ Styles versus Drew McIntyre would also make a would be a pretty good program.
It would.
But yeah, moving on to the Universal Championship.
As Braun Strowman defends his Universal Championship against Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt.
Yes, notice the very specific wording to that. This is not The Fiend Bray Wyatt, but the Funhouse version of Bray Wyatt. Now, I think this is done specifically to keep The Fiend, or at least to attempt, I should say, to keep The Fiend strong after fucking him up at Super Showdown.
When they made him lose to Goldberg for the Universal title.
Yes, so if you don't know the history of this, let's rewind to February.
Yes, rewind all the way back.
At Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia, The Fiend version of Bray Wyatt was defending the Universal Championship against Goldberg.
But to the shock of everybody around the world,
and disgust to some people,
The Fiend lost his Universal Championship to Goldberg.
Then the plan was to do Goldberg versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
Spear versus Spear.
At WrestleMania. But then we had a little outbreak
Of COVID-19.
And Roman Reigns decided to basically pull out of doing any televised
Shows while this was still going on due to his weakened immune system.
which we all completely understand. So Braun Strowman was brought in, almost like they were used to bring in the Big Show to do these things, and would take the title off of Goldberg at WrestleMania.
Yes.
So now we go to this Money in the Bank match, where Bray Wyatt is challenging the man he actually brought into the WWE about 5 years ago.
Yes, literally 5 years ago.
And also another reason I think they're doing this is that maybe they don't want to do this match once and then be done with it. I mean, if they're going to redo this match like the next pay-per-view, they would do Braun Strowman versus The Fiend eventually. And of course, if you have Bray Wyatt rather than The Fiend, then Bray Wyatt can lose and you can keep Strowman as champion.
Yeah.
Now, our next match is a little bit interesting and technically dates back a year for one person.
It does, as Tamina challenges Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Now, Bayley really hit the road on this fantastic, even though she's a heel, run that she's been on. This time, 1 year ago, when she won the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match and cashed her in to become the SmackDown Women's Championship. SmackDown Women's Champion, I should say. Then she went on to a fairly decent run. Would lose the title to Charlotte.
Only to win it back
like less than a week later.
with a new look and getting rid of her Bayley buddies using an axe.
Was it an axe or was it a candlestick?
Or a kendo stick.
Either way, she went heel then, and has not looked back since.
And since then, as my colleague already mentioned, it's done wonders for her career.
Now, Tamina has been since she came in, and my issue with this is that if they were going to put a title or do some kind of push with Tamina, they've had 10 years to do it. She initially came in with the Usos, but she's been used a bit like Natalia. She's just there.
But now it seems they might be giving her a push.
Since she came back from... Was she out injured? I think she was out injured for a time. Since she came back on the build to WrestleMania, she does seem to be getting a semi sort of push, but I do think, and I'm pretty sure most people would agree with me, although we've had time after time of thinking this, that she's just an opponent for Bayley to beat until we eventually get to Bayley versus Sasha.
Which is what they're trying to go for.
Now, does anyone fancy a WWE Championship match?
Yes.
So, the Scottish Psychopath
Drew McIntyre
will defend the WWE Championship against the Monday Night Messiah.
Or as I like to call him, he's not the Messiah, he's a very naughty boy.
Seth Rollins.
Now,
This is a very interesting matchup because the two superstars have a very I want to say
illustrious history.
a history, the same kind of look. Let's look at things that these two have done.
Yes.
Both of them are former NXT champions.
Yes, correct.
Both have defeated Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Yes.
Seth Rollins haven't done it twice. And WWE seems to have altered her history to that as well. Because of Money in the Bank cash-in. Yes, that is a complaint for a different video.
Yes.
These two even look similar.
Yes, they do.
However, I think it would be a crime to take the WWE Championship off of Drew McIntyre just a few weeks after being crowned the chosen one after 11 years after being introduced as the chosen one by Vince McMahon.
Yes. So I think we're going to be saying that Drew McIntyre retains his championship.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they had one or two more matches between these two.
But our final match on the card will be a fatal four-way tag team match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles.
Now, this is a very interesting match.
Because originally it was going to be the Usos.
Well, we don't know that for sure.
But we know that the Usos are going to be out for a while because one of the Usos will be out for up to 6 to 9 months.
I think it's Jimmy. But what I was going to say was at WrestleMania, it was Miz and Morrison actually, taking on Kofi Kingston, taking on Jimmy Uso,
Yep.
in a triple threat ladder match, not a tag team ladder match, but a triple threat ladder match for the tag team championships.
Sounds weird, but hear us out.
So what they did here was had one member from each team compete in a triple threat match for the titles. John Morrison managed to escape with the titles on that occasion. Then we had a little incident with the New Day saying that the other half of the teams should compete in a triple threat match to have a shot at the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. So, a few weeks ago on SmackDown, we had Big E versus The Miz versus Jey Uso. And that ended with a big ending onto The Miz,
Yep.
a 3 count, and new SmackDown Tag Team Champions in the New Day. Or, as Big E likes to put it now, oh, people at home!
Oh my god. No, we're not kidding, Lee. We're not kidding, folks. He actually does that now.
Well, in any event, like the week after that match, we have the debut of the Forgotten Sons onto SmackDown.
Of Steve Cutler, Jackson Riker, and Wesley Blake, who were call-ups from NXT.
Then we are also just flung into this title picture. We think, because the Usos are currently out, the Lucha House Party.
Yes.
So, with all these teams being thrown into it, we have a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match with The New Day defending against Miz and Morrison,
otherwise known as the Dirt Sheet,
defending against whatever combination of the Forgotten Sons,
taking on the Lucha House Party of Gran Metalik and Lince Dorado.
Yes. I have mixed feelings about this.
Okay.
My feeling is, if they're going to put the titles on the Forgotten Sons, I think it's too early, but I wouldn't put it past WWE to, hop the gun. Then why did they take the titles off of Miz and Morrison in the first place? If they can have Miz and Morrison win the titles back, again, why did they take the titles off of Miz and Morrison to begin with?
I know.
And it's the same combination of, if you have the New Day win, can you have waited until this to have the New Day win the titles back? And why the heck have a Lucha House Party even in this match?
I don't know. It's very confusing, WWE. Make up your mind.
So to go through the matches one more time.
Starting with the pre-show matches.
Oh well, one's a pre-show match, although the other one is advertised to take place on the main card, of why I have absolutely no idea.
Okay.
We have Jeff Hardy going against Cesaro.
We then have R-Truth versus MVP.
In the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, we have Asuka, Shayna Baszler, and Nia Jax going against Dana Brooke, Lacey Evans, and Carmella.
And for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, we have Daniel Bryan against Mysterio, against Aleister Black, against King Corbin, against Otis, and against AJ Styles.
For the Universal Championship, we have Braun Strowman going against Funhouse Bray Wyatt.
Bayley will defend her SmackDown Women's Championship against Tamina.
Drew McIntyre will defend the WWE Championship against the Monday Night Messiah Seth Rollins.
And the New Day in Big E and Kofi Kingston will defend their SmackDown Tag Team titles in a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match against the Miz and Morrison, whatever combination of the Forgotten Sons, and the Lucha House Party in Gran Metalik and Lince Dorado.
So, that does it for Money in the Bank pre-show. Join us next Thursday, maybe slightly later, where we shall inform you who was able to climb the corporate ladder of success.
So until then, he's been
Luis Farrak Jones, and he's been
Sean Randy Smith. Climb with us up the corporate ladder, and we'll see you next Thursday. Not bad. It's not about